want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the suppression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the streets. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
In 1492, Larry, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Remember that little thing from school?
Yeah, that's what they say.
And what were the three ships called, Larry? Remember?
The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. You paid attention in school.
No, not really.
Good. Well, yeah. So that part's true. You know
what else is true? That Christopher Columbus once banged Abraham Lincoln.
Yes. Very good. So, Columbus was born in 1451 in the Republic of Genoa, Italy. He completed 4 round-trip voyages from Spain to America between 1492 and 1503. But, of course, he wasn't the first person to discover America, Larry. I mean, there were natives living in America. So,
right, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's not like they knew about it.
We call them Indians now.
Yeah. Well, we call them Indians now because he kind of called them Indians. So we'll get into that later. But, so they also think some fishermen from areas of Spain and France were fishing for cod along the American coast years before this. In fact, we know that in 982, a fella named Bjorn Herjolfsson, Larry, he's very good. He discovered America by accident because he was one of them Viking kids. And he was supposed to go meet his dad in Greenland, and he overshot Greenland, and he landed in America. And he's like, "Oops, I better go back." So he went back to Greenland, and he told his old man, he's like, "I went that way, and I landed somewhere else." So then his dad told a guy named Eric the Red, and he had a son named Leif Erikson, not to be confused with Leif Erikson.
Oh, see, I like Leif Garrett.
And So Leif Erikson, he went and a lot of people just say, yeah, he's the first guy to discover in North America, but it was actually this Herjolfsson guy. But Erikson went in and he discovered Newfoundland, so up there in Canada. So other people, Columbus wasn't the first. That's the point. And there's all scores of other people have apparently take claim that they were there as well. The Polynesians were over here on the rafts and stuff. But Columbus gets all the credit. Why, Larry? We'll get into that as well. Now, let's see. A lot of people point to the Vikings. Yeah, we did all that. Now, how did Columbus get credit, Larry? Do you know how he got credited with discovering America?
No, I don't. No.
Yeah. In 1507, which was one year after Columbus's death, a fellow named Martin Waldseemüller, Waldseemuller, he mapped out North and South America. And he was the first guy to recognize that they were separate continents. Everyone else kind of thought they were just the eastern edge of Asia. But he read American Vespucci did it, Amerigo Vespucci, because he went and explored it after Columbus, and he realized this was a different continent. So Waldseemüller was reading Vespucci's documents and his diaries and journals and whatnot, and he used those to map North and South America. And in honor of Amerigo Vespucci, the fella who went over and, explored it all, he named it America on this map in 1507. And it was like, back then, it was like, it's not like, they didn't have the interwebs, Larry. So you make a map like this, it spreads out, people hear about it, it becomes fact, people just start running with it. But then 6 years later, this Waldseemüller guy realized, hey, I made a mistake. Columbus was actually there first. And Vespucci never tried to take credit or anything. He recognized Columbus, and Columbus liked this Vespucci character. He didn't have a problem with him. But so when this map fella found out that he made a mistake, he tried to correct it, and he started doing extensive writings giving credit to Columbus. So it started to become ingrained in the popular culture. Yeah, Columbus discovered America, But by then, 6 years later, it was already also ingrained in the public that it was called America, so they just stuck with the name America. Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Interesting, huh? Yeah.
Is that it?
No, we got more.
Oh, I was going to say, yeah.
Now, why did Columbus go, Larry? Well, why did he go over to America? Well, he didn't realize he was landing in America. He thought he was going to the eastern coast of India, in the East Indies. No, the Ed made a reference to it earlier, that Columbus knew the world was flat or round, or I forget what he said. Because that's one of the things people believe, that he was going to try and prove that the Earth was round, and that's not true at all. By this time in history, 1492, when he left, the educated people knew that the Earth was they knew it was round for a good 1,000 years. And they were making globes by this time. In 1490, there's being globes produced and stuff. So people knew the Earth was round already. Right? It wasn't like a big secret. No one thought it was flat. But Columbus thought that was the east coast of Asia he was sailing to and not America, because they wanted to go and get spices. Because back in the day, Larry, peppercorn was a currency in Europe. How about that?
Oh, the old peppercorn, huh?
The old peppercorn. You could be a millionaire today.
1 pound of peppercorn, I can have your daughters.
Yeah, and they like this. All kinds of spices had value, and you could get the spices from the East Indies over on the
like
Asia.
saffron.
Sure, saffron still. Have you ever had saffron?
No, it's too expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yeah, I can't afford it.
Yeah. You know what I like, Larry? I like the turmeric.
See, I'm the layman guy. I like garlic.
Oh yeah, garlic's great. It's very helpful.
I love garlic on everything.
Yeah.
And Gailey Kawoko.
So Columbus was going to get spices. That was the plan.
Okay.
And that's what it was about. Now, he had trouble getting financing from the bankers there. He tried to go to different countries because he went to France. He thought he had a deal worked out with somebody, and they said, nah, that's all right. Because people, up to that point, you could either go by land all the way over to India, like in China, like our buddy Marco Polo did, or you could try and sail around the southern tip of Africa and go. And that was an arduous trek, and no one wanted to do that. But Columbus said, I can sail across the Atlantic and come in the back door. I'll go that way. But he couldn't get people to support him until Queen Isabella of Spain, she agreed. She said, yeah, go ahead, I'll give you the money. Go ahead, go. And Columbus had some pretty hefty demands. He wanted 10% of all the wealth he discovered and ownership of all the lands he found. And that's why a lot of people weren't going to go into business with him. But Isabella's advisor said, no, go ahead and make the deal with him because he's probably going to die anyway, so you won't have to pay him. Or when he comes back, we'll just kill him. So,
Huh.
What's to lose? It's a win-win. Just send him on his way.
Yeah, basically.
So he went and he found him. Now, this Columbus character, Larry, he's a bit of a dick, Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah, his crew didn't like him. He was a jerk. But he actually got over there. They found the land. But it wasn't the East Indies, Larry. He landed in the Bahamas.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice place to go.
Yeah. But he thought it was the East Indies. And then after that, they went up to Cuba a little bit. Yeah, but because he saw the natives there, and he thought they resembled the natives that Marco Polo described from his journeys. And also the coastlines were similar, that they expected to see a coastline like this. So they're like, look, we're in the East Indies. Nope, you're in the Bahamas.
I can see how you'd be confused by that.
Yeah, you couldn't map quest it or anything,
No, isn't pretty much every coastline the same? Sand, water turning the sand into solid land?
Yeah, pretty much. So who cares? Yeah, so he left Spain August 3rd, and he arrived on the Bahamas on October 12th. Now, because he thought he was in the East Indies, he called the natives there Indians.
Ah.
See? So that's how we got the name Indians for the natives here. Yeah. So there you go. Now, Columbus didn't start to realize his mistake until his third and fourth trips, but he never really admitted it in his life. He just kind of said, whatever. I think I'm in the East Indies. But no, he wasn't.
All right.
And like I said, it wasn't until Amerigo Vespucci and that map maker fella, they kind of pieced it all together, that they realized, holy, this is a whole different continent. All right, so why the holiday, Larry? Why do we honor Columbus if he found this by accident and he wasn't even the first guy to do it?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah. Well, certain places around the country would celebrate Columbus's voyage every year on around October 12th or whatever. They would commemorate it and stuff. But the Knights of Columbus, a Catholic fraternal service organization, they were trying to find a Catholic hero that everyone could celebrate. Because, back in the day, like Catholics, they had to. It's hard to realize now because I don't think back there's a big stigma against Catholics in the early 1900s and stuff. And they wanted to pay tribute to a Catholic immigrant. So they really pushed for this holiday, the Knights of Columbus. And in 1934, they lobbied Congress and President Roosevelt, and they got Columbus Day made into an official federal holiday, national holiday.
Well, I got to tell you this, because it's a stupid holiday if you ask me.
Yeah.
And Monday morning, I had eBay to ship, and I drive myself over to the post office, and they got like 2 sets of doors. So I go in the first door, and I'm like, oh, nice, nobody's here. I'm the first one in line. I'm like, this is awesome. Then as I approached the second set of doors, I'm like, it's really dark in there.
Yeah.
And I realized it was locked, and I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even know it was Columbus Day. I had to call Nick. I'm like, why isn't the post office open? She's like, it's Columbus Day, and I'm like, well, that's just stupid.
Yeah, it's second Monday of every October. Yeah.
Fuck Columbus Day.
Yeah. Now, did your post office have one of those automated postal machines where you can ship packages?
No.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, the Greensburg post office has one. You can just go in any time of day or night, put a package on, weigh it. Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome.
It's all touch screen, pop, 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 bang, done.
Now, have you ever used it?
Yeah.
Can you get like tracking and insurance and all that with it?
Yep.
Wow.
The way to go. He prints out the stamp, you slap it on, he prints out the insurance, whatever, slap it on, and drop it in like a little box, chute, goes in a chute, and then done.
Oh, that sounds awesome. No, I've never seen one of those.
Yeah. You can buy stamps from it, too. You need stamps buying to do that. Yeah.
I haven't bought stamps in years. I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a stamp.
It's a wave of the future. Anyway, what are some other problems about giving Columbus a holiday, Larry?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to ruin your bit, so you just tell me.
Yeah, he was a jerk. Remember we mentioned earlier? Real jerk.
Yeah, he was an ass.
Yeah. When he landed in the Bahamas, he met with the natives, and they're a bunch of peaceful folks, and there are a couple of different tribes, the Lacayans, the Taínos, and the Arawaks. And in his own diaries, Columbus described them as handsome, intelligent, and kind, and he noted, quote, they offered to share with anyone when you ask for something, and they never say no. So what could be wrong with that? Native people, beautiful climate, you go in, they're nice, they're welcoming you.
Agreeable.
Yeah, you'd probably say, oh, let's be friends, right? No.
Yeah.
That's not what happened. A fellow named Bartolomé de las Casas, he didn't join Columbus until his third journey, I believe. Now, Bartolomé, his first experience with Columbus was as a boy. After the first voyage, he remembers he was only like 5 or 6 or something, or maybe a little older, maybe 9 or something. He saw Columbus come in with his men, a big parade to celebrate him, and he's like, oh, look, that's pretty impressive. So he wanted to kind of, follow in Columbus, and then he wanted to be a priest and stuff. So he studied to be a priest, and when he was 18, he joined Columbus. Casas's father and brothers and stuff went on Columbus' second voyage, I think. And so Bartolomé de las Casas joins on the third as an 18-year-old, and when he gets there, he is shocked at what he sees. Here's a quote from one of his diaries. Of all the infinite universe of humanity, these people are the most guileless, the most devoid of wickedness and duplicity. Yet into this sheepfold there came some Spaniards who immediately behaved like ravening beasts. Their reason for killing and destroying is that the Christians have an ultimate aim, which is to acquire gold. That's right. These natives had gold, Larry. Gold.
Jerry,
yeah.
Gold.
Yeah. So Columbus's greed for gold led him to enslave the natives and force them to work in gold mines. His brutal, inhumane treatment of the natives resulted in 125,000 deaths in the first 2 years alone.
Yikes.
Yeah.
125,000?
Yep. If the natives, he gave them all 3 months. He said, we'll give you 3 months to mine gold. This is how much you need to have at the end of 3 months. Now, if you don't have this much gold, you got to demurrer to pay. No. They cut off your hands. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Cut them off, and they would string them around your neck to act as a warning to others.
So you had to wear your own hand necklace?
That's what one fellow wrote. That they would make them hang their hands around their neck. So that's nice. This is a guy we celebrate, second Monday of October.
Yeah.
His soldiers also murdered natives for sport. They would see if they could cut through their bodies with one swipe of their sword. Like they would gamble and bet on it. So,
Oh,
hey,
really?
I bet I could kill that dude with one swipe. They're like, nope, I dare you. Bang, and they try and do it. Columbus also turned women and young girls into sex slaves, and the 9 and 10-year-old girls were in high demand. 9 and 10-year-olds. It's Columbus, second Monday, every October. That's the guy. That's why you couldn't mail your eBay packages, Larry, because of this guy.
Yeah. He's living the life that I always wanted.
Yep. Columbus brought some natives back to Spain as slaves. He derived his income from slave trading. During his years there, 11 years over there, he sent some 5,000 slaves across the Atlantic. And slave trading would run in his family. Columbus's son became the first African slave trader in 1505.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Columbus Day, second Monday.
What was the son's name? Christopher Jr.?
You know what? I don't even know. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, look into that. But if the natives refused to go into slavery, he'd cut off their nose or their ears, or he'd just burn them alive.
Oh.
If they tried to escape, he would unleash the dogs, and the dogs would just tear them apart. And when Columbus and his men needed food for the dogs, they just fed them some of the native babies. There you go, dogs. Eat the babies. That's your dinner tonight.
Second Monday in every October?
A native baby. His men would cut off the legs of children just to test the sharpness of their swords.
Huh.
Nice. De las Casas wrote, quote, such inhumanities and barbarisms were committed in my sight as no age can parallel. My eyes have seen these acts so foreign to human nature that now I tremble as I write. The natives started committing mass suicides and even killed their own babies to keep them from enslavement. Again, this is all directly from Columbus's own diaries and the diaries of his men. This isn't people making this up. It's all documented. You can read it yourself, do the research. It's right there. The native population, they estimate around 3 million before Columbus got there, and that number dropped to 60,000 within 20 years.
Holy hell.
Yeah, that's no joke.
2.9 million people?
Yeah, Columbus.
Wow.
Second Monday of October. Columbus.
He's fucking up my eBay?
That's right. Because of this guy.
Huh.
Slave trader, murderer. Columbus.
Yeah, but everybody at the post office got the day off, though.
And by the way, when he would take the slaves over, to Spain, it's not like he treated them nicely either. They would load them into the ship, and I think on the first voyage he took 500 and 200 died or something on the way, and they would just toss them overboard, And one writer says you could just track their ship by the 12 dead bodies if you wanted. So that's not
so gross.
So there you go.
I guess if you're going 2.9 million people, yeah, I guess there would be some body trails. And
this is the history that they just don't want people to know. They don't want to teach kids this in school. But this is what our whole foundation. This isn't just Columbus. This is everything about our history as a country and a nation. It's all built on lies and falsehoods. And what can you do?
What about George Washington? Is there anything behind him?
Yeah, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
I do want to know.
Well, now George was. It depends on who you talk to, but by all accounts, he was wasn't like a smart fellow, but he was a courageous fellow, and strong, bold, courageous fellow. So that's something. But they were all slave owners,
Did he cut down the cherry tree?
No, I don't think so. I think that was all bogus. Yeah.
Sounded too good.
But he did have sex with Abraham Lincoln, like you said earlier with Columbus.
Yeah, I think everybody did.
It's a rite of passage. So, all right, so there it is, Christopher Columbus. Once again, go read it up on your own. The great Howard Zinn, the late great Howard Zinn, did a lot of writing on it. You can find all sorts of resources out there. Just Google up Christopher Columbus slavery, Christopher Columbus murder, Christopher Columbus Holocaust, Indians, whatever. Just you'll find lots of information about it. Not that hard.
Christopher Columbus, sex, Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln, yeah.
And also KayleeKawoko.org.
.org. Yeah.
Org. I'll look that up.
So there it is.
It was a good night, Mike Dell.